The following contains spoilers for The Rookie Season 8, currently airing new episodes Mondays at 10 p.m. on ABC and streaming on Hulu the following day. After 8 seasons, The Rookie remains a popular and important series both for ABC and Hulu. Led by Nathan Fillion, an ensemble cast fills out the world of the Mid Wilshire Police Division with their own relationships, struggles, and victories. In recent weeks, the normally popular series struggled on streaming, which could reflect that audiences have noticed a big change. The Rookie is moving more towards serialized storytelling than the typical case-of-the-week approach to network procedurals. The conventional wisdom in Hollywood is that serialization drives away weekly viewers and decreases audience engagement. The show still earns decent ratings, at least in line with other network shows. It is also bolstered by streaming viewers, with The Rookie back at #1 on Hulu. With a dozen episodes since the recent premiere, Season 8 of The Rookie is over half complete. There are several ongoing arcs in play, some introduced this year and others reaching back to past seasons. While there are still standalone stories, some elements from their narratives are woven into the bigger stories. This isn't just a change for The Rookie, it's a big shift for network TV. Why The Rookie is no longer just a story about John Nolan as a police officer. Originally, the titular rookie in the show was Fillion's John Nolan, the eldest trainee officer in the history of the Los Angeles Police Department. His story was inspired by a real-life officer, though series creator Alexi Hawley introduced heavily fictionalized elements. Even before he became a full police officer, the series began to shift its focus. Viewers noticed that as early as Season 5, Nolan became almost a background character. Characters like Tim Bradford, Lucy Chen, Nyla Harper, Angela Lopez, and Wesley Evers stepped to the forefront. Originally, Nolan mistakenly wanted to be a detective, but instead he became a training officer. This was a smart move, because to succeed, Nolan had to want to become a cop more than anything. He was able to guide other trainees towards that goal with an empathetic perspective that other officers didn't have. Not only that, giving him a rookie officer helped the series title continue to make sense. Meanwhile, the characters around him began to grow, change, and carve out places for themselves in the show, absent their relationship to Nolan. The necessity of the shift became apparent early in the show's production. For example, Nolan and Chen's romance almost doomed the show. It makes dramatic sense for the series lead to have a love interest that creates more drama, specifically that trainee cops weren't allowed to date. Yet their relationship was wrong for the characters and the show, even if Melissa O'Neill and Eric Winter didn't have the kind of on-screen chemistry that made fans yearn for Chenford to become a reality. In character, every character in the ensemble brings something unique, and that's why The Rookie continues to capture viewers' imaginations. In Season 8, The Rookie leans more heavily on serialization than on cases of the week. There are still episodes of The Rookie that tell standalone weekly stories like Fun and Games and its Dropout TV crossover. Yet even this episode had heavily serialized elements, from Nyla Harper's first day back in uniform after a lateral demotion to a culmination of the problems between Wade Gray and his wife, Luna. There are also larger stories linking back to Season 7, from the prosecution of serial killer Liam Glasser to the joint task force chasing criminals with longtime antagonist Monica Stevens. The series also continues to introduce new story threads to weave into its larger serialized tapestry. Amid the chaos of Grand Theft aircraft, The Rookie introduced a new, rich, and powerful criminal whose ties in the government put Nolan's wife Bailey at risk in Spy Games. The episode also introduced Tim Bradford's mother, Joy. The show can use that character for drama drawn from his traumatic childhood and in his present-day relationship with Lucy. This shift towards serialization and a focus on characters other than Nolan allows The Rookie to fix past mistakes. The show arguably fumbled the best part of Wesley Evers' character by making him a prosecutor instead of a defense attorney. A serial subplot about the campaign for LA District Attorney in Seasons 7 and 8 may change that. After his friend and superior was disqualified from the race, Wesley decided to run for the position himself. Win or lose, this allows Wesley to continue to be a vehicle for stories about how the system itself is broken. The Rookie was always supposed to move past Nolan to become an ensemble drama. In a recent episode of Once We Were Spacemen with Melissa O'Neill, Fillion revealed why he agreed to The Rookie after 8 seasons of Castle. He found the John Nolan character compelling, but Hawley promised him that The Rookie would feature an ensemble cast. This meant that other actors would feature prominently in the episodes, which lessened Fillion's workload and gave the show a broader appeal. In fact, he even told O'Neill that when he no longer wants to be a series regular, he hopes that The Rookie becomes Lucy Chen's show. Still, the changes in the way The Rookie tells stories are as much about the industry as they are the actors. While the show still draws high ratings, only about 350,000 to 375,000 people ages 18 to 49 watch the show on air, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Anyone familiar with network TV historically knows numbers like that in the key advertising demo means a show is on the fast track to cancellation. In 2026, those numbers are in line with most other network dramas. The Rookie is the 15th most popular ABC series overall, but when digitally recorded viewership and streaming numbers are included, its viewership ranks in the millions. In the past decade, many network procedurals were secretly serialized dramas that blended cases of the week with larger arcs. The Rookie has just made that shift more overt than some of its peers. While weekly TV viewers like to tune in and see a quick resolution to a story, streaming viewers prefer more involved narratives. This is why The Rookie has outgrown its original premise about John Nolan, the LAPD's oldest trainee officer. Now the show focuses on a larger group of characters, each with their own ongoing narratives that reward regular viewers, while still delivering an exciting street-level police adventure each week.